ay parang gusto niya po isabay na lang yung plebiscite sa 2025 midterm elections, kaya po hindi na raw mamadaliin ng Senado at ang target daw po nila para po maaprobahan yung resolution ay before Senate break. So, ano pong reaction niyo po dito, and ano po kaya yung tingin niyo magiging epekto nito sa discussions natin sa RBH 7 dito sa House? Thank you.
Hi. So, I guess on that point, I wouldn't say it would mean that there would be a delay, but definitely what the signal that it says to us, to me particularly, is that mukhang may sinusunod talaga tayo na deadline of sorts, na definitely they want this to be done before the elections. So I think for the purpose of constitutional amendment, this is a welcome development in the sense na may final. First of all, just to clarify, I'm not sure yet. No, this is just sinabi ni tama po ba? Sinabi ni SP that
yes,
based on a conversation. So although ideally I would like to hear it personally from the president po, no. But if we're going to base it and assuming na totoo nga po yung sabi ni SP, then I would say that it's still welcome, no, kasi it says na talagang may direction yung constitutional amendment and sinasabi na may deadline talaga. Not to say that the deadline means it will be rushed. If we're going to follow yung interpretation ni SP, it gives more leeway on their part. And if the Senate feels like they still need more time to really deliberate, then I suppose that is the prerogative of the Senate. But for us in the House, I think we would say that this is welcome in the sense that at least alam natin na talagang gusto ng Presidente na magkaroon ng charter change at least before 2025. So at least we have a working timeline. But of course, again, we would urge our colleagues in the Senate at least as priority, hopefully we don't extend it all the way to Senate. I think it's possible naman po that we have a fruitful, exhaustive discussion which still follows yung original na sinabi nilang can be finished before Holy Week. So, yun na po, I guess.
So, in terms of if it's going to affect the House, we are doing our daily hearings. Tapos na po yung first hearing kahapon, and we will be doing it in the next few days. In anything that we do in decision-making naman, we have to be smart about it, diba? Yung smart is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So, it's good that we do have this time frame, although we have yet to hear what the President really has to say about this, because that is something that I hope pumasok po yung konsepto din, although we want to be transparent, may confidentiality din. And sana po, diba, yung mga pinag-uusapan in closed doors is respected in terms of confidentiality, na yung Presidente lang naman po makakasabi kung ano po talaga yung gusto niya. And it will also be up to COMELEC, which is beyond our work scope, kung kaya nila at kung kailan nila magagawa. Depende rin yan sa resources. But as far as the House is concerned, patuloy po yung trabaho, and we will exhaustively look into the economic provisions for the Constitution, and look into and hear the different resource persons to consider while looking into RBH number 7.
To priority, we have to ask what is the priority of this current administration. It's very clear that the President wants to push for the changing, amending the provisions in the Constitution, particularly the economic provision. So what we are doing here in the House of Representatives is to translate that priority and policy of this current administration. So sabi ng mga kasama ko, it now brings us to the question of how and when do we actually amend the Constitution. I personally would want this discussion on the economic provision done before the break for the Holy Week. Actually, that's the original plan. That's actually the original plan. Even if you go through your previous interviews with our colleagues in the Senate, even SP Zubiri said that they can do that. No, they can do that before the break, before the March, the Holy Week break, and we hope that they can actually fast track that, because priority does not mean only discussing the issue. It also means putting into timeline. Ano ba yung target natin at kailan matatapos?